Melita Oletenges, NTV.
On to matters education now, and Universities Fund has defended the highly criticized new university funding model, saying it is the best model in keeping with the current economic situation and the battered state of public universities. The fund bosses have also explained the criteria to be used in clustering the students in the 4 funding groups, namely less needy, needy, extremely needy and vulnerable. Our education reporter Rukia Bule breaks it down.
The new university's funding model has been met with a lot of resistance, mainly from parents and students. The main reason being that the cost of university has shot up to astronomical heights. CEO of Universities Fund, Geoffrey Monari, says that the cost has not increased. Rather, the public was not aware of the funding component paid by the Ministry of Education on behalf of government. But now, with the new model, the actual program cost has been left to the student without government funding. However, students can apply for government scholarships, loans and bursaries.
The issue of increased fees has not come in because the DUC, which we were funding, was at 720, and the current fees by the universities, if it is medicine, is 612. So the fees, and that's why we keep on insisting that fees has not been increased.
The government insists the new funding model will prioritize equity rather than equality. To effect this, the government has classified students seeking funding into 4 categories: the vulnerable, extremely needy, needy, and less needy. The level of funding for each student will depend on several factors which will be determined by the Higher Education Loan Board, HELB, and the Universities Fund. They will use a means testing instrument, MTI, to determine the level of the following: family economic background, affirmative active action, socio-demographic data, and family education expenditure.
So we have looked for more money from counties, constituencies, I don't know where else. So we have done the 2 things: equality, which is the other model, what the other model was doing, and now we have done also equity on the other side.
The model is already experiencing what can be termed as far-reaching setbacks, where some students are now choosing less expensive courses just in case the testing instrument puts them in the less needy cluster.
Number of students per program in the universities. So, of course, there are certain programs in private universities that I can say did not even attract a single student, because if you have programs that have high capacity in public universities and you can get both, then, and the cost is the same, then definitely students would go on the other side.
Access to university education is set to change in a drastic way, starting with the next cohort of learners. And even as the new funding model comes under heavy criticism, the proponents, on the other hand, are adamant that the model is the most symbiotic system for the varsities and learners. Symbiotic because the learners are clustered in 4 different funding categories, and the public universities will be saved from the current state of near collapse. The practicality of it all will be evident with time. Rukia Bule, NTV.
We take a break, but coming up on the other side,